Hi, I would like to welcome each and every one of you to this video, and you might learn something because you are here for a reason and you clicked on this for a reason. So, this is my first YouTube video, and I'm actually I'm actually very nervous. I don't know why, maybe because I haven't done this before, maybe this is the first time I'm doing this. That is what makes me nervous. But I think this is my first lesson here is that when you start new things in life, they always seem harder at first, right? So let's say you want to reach here, but you have to go through this path to reach there. And me sitting here recording this video is already halfway there because you get the thought, then you act on it, and that is what makes you reach here. And when you push past this other second half, that is when you reach here, and this is, let's call it a checkpoint, right? So any habit, anything that you want to achieve or to start or to become in life, what you need to do is firstly act, and secondly, once you have taken that action, be consistent. That is it. That's the secret code. Like, look at this. You see this? I'll just put up a picture of me a year ago, okay, and that will give you all the answers you need. So now that I have shown you that you can actually listen to me and you will actually get constructive advice that I have applied to myself, I would like to reiterate my point. So let's say you want to get from here, which is a noob, you're an amateur, to here, which is a slight level of proficiency, to whatever you want to do. Let's say you want to make videos. So the first step would be to make a video, right? Which is what I'm doing right now. And that is when the hard part actually starts, because even though I'm in this flow state right now, I can speak, but there are a lot of things that I'm unaware of. I'm just starting off on this journey. I don't know so many things. I've just been a consumer until now. So I will be going through a lot of difficulties, let's say with editing, with uploading, with how YouTube functions, how the algorithm works, how do I want to engage the audience, what actually do I want to give people through this, what actually do I want to receive through this. All of these questions they don't have an answer yet, but I'm still starting, I'm still making the first video, and that is the most important point here, is to just start. Don't think, just go for it and then figure out what happens later. Just take that first step. And you must have heard this 1,000 times, but that is why this is like so impactful, because whatever we hear so many times, like patience is the key, or stay consistent, and all of these things, people just take them so lightly, because in today's world these things have just been made as a common saying. Your mind just filters it out, it doesn't pay attention, it's just fugazi. It's like that concept. So once you reach this level, which is taking action, then what you need to do is just keep going forward, and day by day, step by step, that is when you will reach here, which is the flat surface, which is where things get easy, which is where you achieve that flow state, and you can just make it through, you just float through. Like even on my weight loss journey, in the starting it was very difficult because I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know what macros were, I didn't know what calories were, and like calorie deficit. I didn't know how fasting worked. I didn't know so many of these concepts. But what I just did is I started from the basics. I knew that sugar, like, it causes weight gain, like eating a lot of sugar, eating a lot of processed foods. So I just cut those out first, and even that was difficult. But taking that action is very important, because in the starting I had cravings, I wanted to go back, I wanted to eat that junk which I was so used to eating, but I just had to control myself. And another tip on controlling yourself when you can't, under unforeseen circumstances, is to actually, at least this works for me, is to get more knowledge on the subject. Because when I learned more about the foods I was eating, like if I was eating processed chips, or I was eating these chocolates which had like 30 ingredients in them. So when I actually understood what I was taking into my body, and how it was harming me, that is when I was able to have a lot more control over myself, because I knew these things were bad and I knew how they were hurting me, and I knew if I just didn't consume them, which is not even like, you know, I have to do something or I have to take this. No, I just have to not do this one thing, which will improve my life exponentially. So that concept, when that actually, sat with my mind, and I was like, okay, this makes sense. This is logical. That is when I started applying it, and that is when I started seeing miraculous results. And I won't even call these results miraculous because I knew they were coming. I was consistent. I would follow a routine every day, and I didn't have a diet. I just made it a part of my lifestyle. I integrated it into my personality and the person I am, and that is how I was able to make that change. And in the same way, this is how I want to start out with YouTube, because I feel I lack in articulation and I lack to a certain level in communication. Like, even right now, I am talking a little bit too fast than I would like to. Maybe, and this, like filler words and all of these things. And just to achieve a certain degree of confidence, on myself, and create an online identity, because in today's world, it's an attention economy. Whatever people see, that sells, and all people see these days is their phones and so content on social media. So my goal with this channel is to inform you guys on things that I learned, and so that we can go through this journey together, because I want to use this as a medium of sharing things, because a lot of times in my life, even when I reach this stage where everything is smooth and I'm in a flow state, there are chances that I still go down, and I go down because I forget that I rose from here. I get comfortable here, and which leads to my downfall. So I want a place where I can document everything, and document all the things that I'm doing, and all the changes that I'm making in my life, and everything new that is coming to me. I want to put this here so that it can help other people, and more than that, so that I can look back at it and realize how far I've come. And that's basically it. I hope I can give people something informative and give them things that they can apply in real life. I think that is my biggest goal with anything. Aside from it being good for me personally, I wanted to help people. I wanted to reach a level where I can influence people, and I can influence people's decisions to go towards a better place in their lives. That is what I want, and that's it. I will be editing this video a little bit, but for the most part, I want it to remain raw. I want it to be a conversation. I want people to be indulged in it. I don't want this to be like some, YouTube video. Yeah, let's go. Some Mr. Beast. Oh, $50,000. Okay, that's entertainment. People enjoy that. But that is not helping anyone. That is not improving anyone's lives. They are just wasting their time watching that. And the dopamine or whatever chemical that is released that people get, it just satisfies you in the short term. Like, it has no long term benefits. It literally has no long term benefits. I was just trying to think of something, some benefit it might have, except to relax our minds, which is actually negative. If you look at some studies, that when you're focused on a subject and you just pick up your phone and you scroll, even that one scroll, 2 hours of work just turn into nothing, because your mind, whatever you focus on, your mind will work consistently to give you that result until you're satisfied. So if you are working and you're focused on something and you pick up your phone, you are instantly satisfied. So there is no reason left for your mind to focus on that subject and give you results for those, because it thinks you're already satisfied. So there are all of these gaps in society and in things that we need to be doing and what society tells us we need to be doing. So I feel like me being here, I can help fill some of those gaps. And while filling those gaps, I think I can practically show people that it's possible. because before I lost this much weight, even my family didn't believe it was possible. Like they used to make fun of me for like buying the weighing machine, to weigh my meals. I don't do that anymore, but I knew that was the path. And I told them, in a year you'll be coming to me for advice, and that is what's happening now. Like they come to me for advice, like Nakshay, is this good to eat, or like, oh, help me with our diet, help us with our diets. What are you following now? What changes have you made in your lifestyle? So and it's even helping them out, because me being on this healthy lifestyle, it's like the influence is getting there. Even my dad has joined the gym, and everyone's getting fit around me. So I just want the things that are helping me to be able to help other people out, like people like you who I cannot like physically influence, or like I'm not in your space to have a conversation with you. So I feel like this can serve a medium for all those people who kind of feel lost, who want help, who want to improve in life, but they don't know what direction to go in. They don't know how to get there, and what paths to take. And maybe me sharing this will help you avoid some of the mistakes I've made through the path. Even though I feel like mistakes are the biggest reason for success, because when you make a mistake, that is when you actually make a change. Until you make a mistake, you feel like you're doing the right thing. So mistakes are very important, but despite that, I want people to be aware that these mistakes that they're making, they're actually a path to a greater life, rather than attaching negative emotions to these mistakes. I want people to understand that this is the path to progress. Like destruction happens before growth can happen. Like I went to these mountains recently. It's in Himachal Pradesh in India. So over there, I saw forests burning, like entire forest. There was a whole big ass forest fire. I'll put a video here. There was a driver driving us. So I asked him like, what, like what is going on here? Isn't this dangerous? Like, won't this get to the cities? And he was like, no, this happens every year. And once the fire has consumed everything in its path and everything is ash, the new life grows. And the life that grows, the trees that grow, they're even stronger. And like it just made me realize that you have to go through this fire has to be there. Like even in ancient times, boys became men after going through a trial of fire. So in the same way, I feel like we all need that trial of fire, which society has, it just has made us so comfortable that that trial of fire never actually happens. It never takes place in our lives. And even when it does, we have attached so many negative emotions to these things, like pain and misery and suffering, that we actually don't experience or understand them. So when we actually go and look at these things and understand them, is when we can actually make a change. So I've rabbled on enough in this video, and I hope I have given you something to think about, something informative, something that might change your life, and you'll be seeing a lot more of me from now. So